Hello guys, welcome back to my channel and enjoy this fanfic part 1. Now let's start the fanfic. A 7-year-old Uzumaki Naruto was running for his life from a group of drunken villagers. He didn't know what he did wrong. Sure, he played a couple pranks, wore an annoyingly bright orange jumpsuit, and slacked off in the ninja academy, but he didn't know what he deserved to be chased through the village like some sort of animal. They called him a demon, a monster, a leper. It wasn't the time for reminiscing, as right now he was trying to avoid a group of blood-hungry villagers. There he is. It's the demon, called a clearly drunk civilian. Normally this man would never hurt a small child, but this was no small child, this was the demon that attacked the village. This boy was the demon that had killed his father and sister. Dang it. Naruto mentally cursed as he ducked into another alley, hoping to lose the villagers. He ducked behind a dumpster and prayed. He went behind that dumpster. A villager yelled. Which one? Another villager asked. The first villager pointed to the dumpster Naruto currently hid behind. Naruto wished he could just disappear. He knew he was going to get a severe beating. He always did on this day. This day was the day he always had to run for his life, October 10th, his birthday. It was also the day that 7 years ago the Yondaime Hokage had defeated the mighty Kyuubi no Kitsune, the nine-tailed demon fox. The Yondaime was Naruto's hero and inspired Naruto to want to become the Hokage. Naruto curled up into a small ball and cried. He cried for his crappy life. He cried for the beating he was about to endure, but most of all he cried for how weak he was to not be able to fight back. He imaged lying on his bed, no matter how uncomfortable it was. He imagined his home, the one place he was safe from these bad people. Then it happened. A warm sensation seemed to cover his entire body. His eyes fluttered open as he expected to see a group of angry villagers. He was wrong. What he saw was his old, worn apartment. How did I get here? He could have sworn he was just hiding behind a dumpster being chased by a group of villagers. His mind seemed to fly hundreds of miles an hour trying to process this information. 1 second he was one place, and the next thing he knew he was back at his apartment. Did he teleport? Only one way to find out, he mused. He then focused on a point on the other side of his room. He willed himself to be there, nothing. He scrunched his eyes in frustration. Why won't it work? He yelled to himself. He tried to think about what he did to make himself teleport before. That's it. He was unconsciously focusing chakra when he was thinking about his home. He then looked across the room and focused chakra throughout his body, at the same time willing himself to teleport across the room. 30 seconds passed and finally Naruto closed his eyes in frustration only to feel the warm sensation again. He blinked and looked to see himself standing in front of the wall that was previously across the room from him. He grinned at his accomplishment. No one would ever mess with him again. Time skip. 5 years, day of graduation. It's been 5 years since Naruto learned to teleport. Since that day he rarely took a beating as he could just step into an alley and teleport away. He didn't like the word teleport though, so he often referred to his ability as jumping. Nobody knew about his ability as far as he knew, as he only practiced it in secluded areas. No longer did he wear a bright orange jumpsuit. He opted to wear something stealthy, more suited for ninjas. Naruto now was clothed in loose black training pants with an orange stripe going down the side, taped at the ankle, a sleeveless black shirt, and had white bandages wrapped around his arms. After that night Naruto started to take his ninja training seriously, although there is not much that you can learn without a proper teacher. He could now successfully perform the transformation, the replacement and the clone justice. His taijutsu was more of a street brawler, useless for a ninja, but great for a jumper. All in all he was an average student in the academy, not being the best nor the worst. He woke up early that day and took a quick shower before he had himself a bowl of ramen before he headed off to perform some light stretches to get ready for the academy test today. He was determined to pass this time, as the last time the only reason he failed was due to not being able to successfully perform a clone, something he could do now. After his light stretches, he walked to the academy. Sure, he could just jump there, but he had time and sometimes he liked to walk. It was soothing, really, to feel the morning breeze flow through his unruly hair. It was days like this that he really lived for, so peaceful, no mobs of villagers trying to kill him. He got to the academy 5 minutes before the bell would ring, signaling the start of the day. His eyes quickly grazed over the ninja hopefuls. He was confident in his ability to pass, and he knew most of his classmates would pass too. There was one person though that Naruto just couldn't stand. Uchiha Sasuke. He was cold towards everyone. He was popular but could care less. He had the whole Uchiha superiority complex and thought he was above everyone else. Something about his, "I'm an Uchiha and I deserve more than you," personality really rubbed Naruto the wrong way. "I was here first," an annoying voice screeched. "No, I was," a just as annoying voice yelled right back. Oh great, if there were any two people who Naruto couldn't stand as much as the Uchiha, it was his faithful fangirls, Haruno Sakura and Yamanaka Ino. They were terrible kunoichi, caring more about their looks than their ninja skills. They also seemed to be obsessed with the class brooder and would do anything to get his attention. Too bad they didn't get the hint that the Uchiha could care less about them. Yeah, right, forehead. I was so here first, so I'm sitting by Sasuke-kun. Ino yelled triumphantly. Bull crap, Ino pig. You and I both know I was here first, and Sasuke-kun likes way more than you. Sakura countered with a smirk, and she brushed the dust out of her pink hair. Sometimes Naruto wondered if she dyed her hair or if it was just natural. But then he would remember he could care less. This argument went on for about 5 minutes with neither contestant budging an inch. In the end they were interrupted when Naruto asked why they'd want to sit by the Uchiha. Well, it actually went more like this. Naruto snorted. Why would you want to sit by the emo duck anyway? Naruto. You baka, don't make fun of Sasuke-kun, he is way better than you in every way. Sakura yelled and tried to hit Naruto only for him to sidestep, and she fell on the ground. Sakura's misfortune caused everyone to laugh, even Ino, well, everyone but Sasuke, Shino and Shikamaru, who was sleeping. You baka! Sakura yelled and charged Naruto and yelling about how he tripped her. They were interrupted however as Iruka appeared in the room. Everyone sit down now. Iruka yelled using his demonic head jutsu. Everyone was immediately seated as no one wanted to get in trouble on the day of the final test. Okay class, as you know, today you will be taking your final genin test to see if you will graduate and become full-fledged shinobi of Konoha. Being a shinobi is not a game, and you will have to put your life on the line in a mission many times. You will also be expected to kill and die for your village. Iruka took a break. Now we will start the tests. You will be tested on the clone, transformation, and replacement jutsu. Failure to do any of the three will result in immediate failure. Aburame Shino, will you please come with me into the other room? Naruto's last name was Uzumaki, so naturally he came at the end of the list. Some people would come out with a smile and a headband while others came out empty-handed. The most notable were Nara Shikamaru, Aburame Shino, Inuzuka Kiba, Akamichi Choji, Hyuga Hinata, and Yamanaka Ino, who all came out with headbands. Naruto figured as much, as they were all future clan heads. Next up was Uchiha Sasuke. Uchiha Sasuke, would you please follow me to the other room? Asked Mizuki, Iruka's assistant. HN, was the only response he got. All the Uchiha fangirls squealed at this point, having confidence that their crush would pass easily. A minute later Sasuke walked out sporting his headband on his head. Go figure. Uzumaki Naruto? Mizuki asked, barely containing glee as he thought of his diabolical plan coming into place. Good luck, Naruto, he said as he patted him on the back. I don't need luck, Naruto said confidently as he entered the room, completely unaware of how much his life was going to change in the coming hours. Would you please perform the transformation? Mizuki asked in a monotone voice. Naruto put his fingers into the ram hand seal and a plum of smoke later an identical image of the Yondaime was standing there. That was very good, now the replacement. Mizuki vainly tried to hold in his joy. Again Naruto went through the required seals and replaced himself with a log. He also noticed that it was a lot harder to control his chakra and he was wasting a lot more than usual. He just brushed it off as nervousness. Now would you please perform 3 clones? Mizuki asked innocently. Naruto performed the necessary seals and a puff of smoke enveloped the room. Standing, or lying, next to Naruto was a pale, dead-looking Naruto. Not what he expected. I'm sorry Naruto, but due to your inability to form a single clone, you fail. Mizuki said feigning sadness. His plan was almost in place. But, I knew I could do it, I did it last night. Naruto argued in vain and Mizuki shook his head sadly. Naruto proceeded to run out the door and took a seat in the back of the room, causing many people to look at him. I knew he wouldn't be able to pass. What a loser. Kiba smirked at his joke causing everyone to laugh. Naruto just ignored him and sat in his corner. I know I could do that jutsu. What happened? Why did Mizuki seem happy that I failed? Wait. I remember him slapping me on the back and then my chakra started to act up. That must be it. Naruto's mind was a mess of thoughts until he finally came to a conclusion. Confusion quickly turned to anger as Naruto thought of ways to get back at Mizuki. He couldn't just tell Iruka-sensei, because who would believe a genin over a chunin like Mizuki? But Mizuki would be his prime prank target for the next year until he had another chance to pass. After class ending Naruto immediately sat on the swing he would always go to after he failed his test. He overheard shushed conversations of parents picking up their children. It's a good thing he didn't pass. Yeah, can you imagine if he were to pass? I know considering he's just a shish. You know we're not supposed to talk about that. Naruto tuned most of it out until about an hour after class Mizuki approached him. Naruto raised an eyebrow at this, seeing as how Mizuki had caused him to fail. Sorry about how you failed Naruto. Mizuki said with fake sorrow in his voice. It's okay. Naruto said. What was Mizuki up to? Between you and me, there's another way to pass. Mizuki whispered with a strange gleam in his eyes. This further intrigued Naruto. Really? How do I do that? All you have to do is steal the forbidden scroll of sealing from the Hokage's office and learn one jutsu. Mizuki explained. Naruto knew he was lying. He knew that the scroll of sealing was the village's sacred treasure, but he figured he'd get to learn a kinjutsu and then he'd take down Mizuki if he tried anything. Okay, I'll do it, Naruto yelled with fake joy. Good. Here's a map of the guard layout. You must get the scroll and go to training ground 16. There you can learn a jutsu from it and pass. The traitorous Chunin said as his plan worked better than he thought. Shortly after Mizuki left, Naruto decided he'd get the scroll fast and possibly learn 2 jutsu, so he jumped into the Hokage tower and made his way to the room. He pressed the part of the wall Mizuki described and walked into the room. That was just too easy. He picked up the scroll of sealing and jumped to training ground 16. Naruto then opened the scroll. The shadow clone jutsu allows the user to split their chakra and produce a solid clone of the user. The shadow clone, when expelled, transfers all its knowledge to the original, meaning it can also be used for spying or training. Shadow clone. A solid clone would be incredibly useful. With renewed vigor, Naruto started to learn the shadow clone jutsu. He had it down in a couple hours and opened the scroll further. He then read it mentally. Great Clone Explosion Jutsu. To use this jutsu you must have already mastered the Shadow Clone Jutsu. The Great Clone Explosion is a variant of the Shadow Clone. Using this jutsu allows a seemingly normal shadow clone to blow up with the force of multiple exploding tags, more or less depending on the amount of chakra used. High B ranked Kinjutsu. For the next couple hours Naruto learned the Great Clone Explosion and then copied a couple more jutsu down on a blank scroll he had present. Soon after he was done he sensed someone's presence. Took them long enough, Naruto thought to himself. Soon enough Yumino Iruka appeared in of Naruto. Naruto, do you know what you've done? Iruka asked, shocked that Naruto would steal the forbidden scroll. Yeah, I learned a jutsu from the scroll, just like Mizuki said. So do I pass or what? Naruto asked with fake innocence. What are you talking about? Iruka was completely shocked. If what he was hearing was true then Mizuki was a traitor. Before Naruto could answer Mizuki appeared in the clearing. Give me the scroll. Naruto, don't give him the scroll. He's just using you. He's a traitor. Iruka countered. Meh. Don't worry Iruka-sensei. I knew Mizuki was up to something all along. He even purposely made me fail the first test. I just went along to try to bust Mizuki as the traitor he was. Naruto explained with practiced ease. What? Mizuki asked, shocked that Naruto knew all along about his plan. It doesn't matter because both you and Iruka are going to die. Mizuki yelled as he threw one of the Fuma shuriken at Naruto. Naruto pulled out a kunai from his pouch and deflected the shuriken. Mizuki decided to pull out his trump card. Do you want to know why you're hated, Naruto? The white-haired traitor asked with malice. This struck a chord in Naruto. He always thought he was just hated, he didn't think there was a reason. No Mizuki. It's forbidden. Iruka pleaded. It's because 12 years ago on your birthday, the Kyuubi no Kitsune attacked the village. The Yondaime didn't kill it as you were told. He sealed it into a newborn baby. That baby was you. You are the Kyuubi no Kitsune that nearly destroyed the village 12 years ago. Mizuki bellowed. Naruto dropped on his knees. Was it true? Was he the Kyuubi? It made sense when he thought about it. His birthday was the same day as the Kyuubi attacked and he was always called a demon and a monster. It also explained why everyone hated him. So, I'm nothing but a demon. Before Naruto could react, Mizuki was throwing another shuriken at the blonde demon container. The Jinchuriki didn't have time to dodge. He clenched his eyes shut and waited for his early demise. Only it never came. He opened his eyes and gasped when he saw Iruka-sensei sitting in front of him. The only difference was the giant shuriken sticking out of a large wound on his back. Iruka-sensei? Naruto asked, holding down tears. Why did you protect the demon Iruka? You and I both know that demon killed your parents. Mizuki accused angrily. You're right, the Kyuubi did kill my parents. Iruka muttered darkly, causing Naruto to want to cry. But, Naruto is not the Kyuubi. Naruto is one of my finest students and a future shinobi of Konohagakure no Sato. Iruka protested. He turned to a shocked Naruto. I was kind of like you, you know. I didn't have any parents. I resorted to pulling pranks to try to fill the void. I know what it's like to be alone. I'm sorry about everything. I should have been there for you. Naruto went from shocked to happy to angry. He got up and turned to Mizuki. You hurt my sensei, and if you ever touch Iruka-sensei again, I'm going to kill you. Naruto growled. Ha, if you could even touch me. I'm a Chunin and you're just an academy student. Mizuki smirked, confident in his abilities. Try on this. Multi-shadow clone jutsu. Soon the field was surrounded with hundreds of Narutos all ready to attack. Mizuki didn't feel too confident anymore. The next hour was filled with the hundreds of Narutos beating the living crap out of the traitorous Chunin. Hey, I guess I kind of overdid it. Naruto rubbed the back of his head sheepishly. Naruto, close your eyes. Iruka instructed. Naruto did as he asked, even if it confused him. He felt something being tied over his forehead. He opened his eyes to see Iruka-sensei without his headband. The blonde's hands immediately went up to his forehead. Iruka-sensei. Naruto yelled as he tackled the scarred Chunin. Things seem to be looking up for our favorite blonde jumper. He just hoped that things would stay that way. Naruto woke up with a smile on his face. He couldn't remember being this happy in months, if not years. He had finally done it. He was now an official shinobi of Konoha. He hopped into his icy shower, not even caring that the water heater was broke. He doubted anything could ruin this day for him. Oh boy, was he wrong. After a quick shower and a bowl of ramen, Naruto was out the door, bound and determined on his journey to the Ninja Academy, for his final day. He promptly ignored the glares he received and instead opted to smile right back at them. This, however, only added to the uneasiness of the villagers. Naruto walked into the academy and took his trademark position in the second row. Today was going to be a great day. That's when it started. Oi, idiot, what are you doing here? This is for graduates only, shouted a brown-haired boy with a dog on his head and a big gray jacket. Look at the forehead, dog breath. Naruto replied, pointing to his leaf headband. He loved the feeling it gave to his forehead. After Kiba was shut up by Naruto, the angry Inuzuka quietly took a seat in the front row, waiting for the rest of the class to arrive. A few moments later, the crowd came rushing in and the daily battle between Haruno Sakura and Yamanaka Ino began. Honestly, Naruto didn't like Sakura. She always tried, keyword tried, to hit him. Of course she would wind up on her butt and it was a good comical relief, but still, did she learn from her mistakes? Yamanaka Ino was fine though, as she'd never tried to hit Naruto or done anything mean to him. In fact, she had even given him a sorrowful look when he had failed the day before. Speaking of the pink-haired banshee, Naruto, you baka. You can't be here. This is for graduates only. She kindly pointed out. Look at the forehead, or are you too blind to see the obvious? Naruto replied sarcastically, earning him a yell and causing the pinkit to attempt to punch him. Next up, Sasuke walked into the room. Of course, this resulted in the mob of fangirls to get hearts in their eyes and ask for their Sasuke-kun to sit next to them. Sasuke looked quizzically at Naruto for a second but shrugged it off. It didn't matter. Nothing except avenging his family did. Soon everyone in the class was seated and Iruka-sensei walked in. Good morning, class. I am proud to inform you that from this day forward you will serve as shinobi of Konoha. I expect great things from all of you as you all have great potential. You will now be separated in genin squads, consisting of 3 of you and 1 jonin instructor. Please listen carefully as there will be no repeating. Team 1, Iruka continued on until Team 7. Team 7 will be Haruno Sakura, Uzumaki Naruto. As soon as those words left his lips, he heard 2 simultaneous bangs of heads hitting desk. And Inuzuka Kiba. After this there was one loud screech of, "Why am I with this dog breath?" And an even louder bang as a head hit the desk. Your sensei will be Hatake Kakashi. Team 8 will consist of this year's Rookie of the Year, Uchiha Sasuke, Hyuga Hinata and Aburame Shino. Your sensei will be Yuhi Kurenai. Team 9 is still in active duty. Team 10 will consist of Akamichi Choiji, Yamanaka Ino and Nara Shikamaru. Your sensei will be Sarutobi Asuma. Please wait quietly while your senseis will arrive shortly. Iruka finished flashing Naruto a grin and shusined out of the room. Naruto waited bored for about 5 minutes until the first sensei walked in the door. Team 8. Meet me at training ground 5 in 30 minutes. It was a beautiful woman with exotic red eyes, curly brown hair, and a strange dress made of bandages. Another couple minutes later, a man with a cigarette hanging out off his mouth walked in. Team 10, follow me. He wore an average Jonin uniform and had a beard covering his face. He seemed strong though. Naruto waited for another 5 minutes expecting to see his sensei. He was wrong. He waited another, and another, and another until finally he screamed. 3 hours late. You gotta be kidding me. Sakura nodded her head and Kiba had a look that clearly said, this man is dead. Soon enough a man with gravity-defying silver hair walked in. He wore the average Jonin uniform but had his headband had one side hanging over his left eye. Strange, but he seemed to exude an aura of confidence and skill. Meet me on the roof. That was all he mumbled as he puffed away in a plume of smoke. Naruto thought he looked interesting. Team 7 arrived on the roof to see their new sensei reading a small orange book with a woman being chased by a man on the cover. All three of them sweat dropped at the sight of the perverted book. How about we do some introductions first? The Cyclops asked lazily. What do you mean, sensei? Sakura asked with a confused look. You know, likes, dislikes, hobbies, dreams, and all the normal stuff. He replied lazily. Can you go first so we know what to do? Sakura asked timidly. Fine. My name is Hitaki Kakashi. I have many likes, and not as many dislikes. Oh, and I also have many hobbies. My dreams are too complicated for you guys to understand. He said, not once taking his eyes from his book. The three genin blinked in surprise. All they had learned was his name. You next, Pinky. Sakura glared at the name but continued either way. My name is Haruno Sakura. My likes are. At this she got a dreamy look in her eyes and blushed. My hobbies are. This time she blushed and squealed. My dream is. Now she almost burst the team's eardrums with a squeal. My dislikes are Ino Pig and Naruto Baka. She finished, pumping her hand in the air. Kakashi sighed. Great. A fangirl, okay, you next, Blondie. Naruto glared at the one-eyed Jonin. My name is Uzumaki Naruto. My likes are ramen, training, and the few precious people I have. My dislikes are the 3 minutes it takes for ramen to cook, emo teams, and annoying fangirls. Cue a glare. My dream is to become the Hokage and to protect everyone. Naruto's eyes glowed with an unknown vigor at this point. So much like Sensei, you will make a fine shinobi one day if you are half as determined as your father was, Kakashi thought with remorse. Okay, now you dog breath. Kiba growled at insult but still continued on. My name is Inuzuka Kiba. My likes are my family, training, Akamaru, and my friends. My hobbies are the same as likes. My dislikes are emo jerks, annoying weaklings and animal abusers. My dream is to become a great clan head and someday the strongest Inuzuka in decades. Great, I have a brash, quick to anger Inuzuka, a die-hard fangirl, and a blonde who I can tolerate, albeit barely. Okay team, tomorrow we'll be taking your genin test. Wait, but we already did our genin test. Sakura shouted as she pointed an accusing finger at the copy nin. No, that test was to see if you had potential to become genin. This is the real deal. This test also has a 66.6% failure rate. Also, don't eat breakfast, you'll just puke. By the way, Naruto, Hokage-sama wants to see you, pronto. Ya ne. He hummed as he disappeared in a puff of smoke, leaving a confused Naruto. I wonder why Gigi wants to see me, Naruto thought out loud as he jumped off the roof and took off towards the Hokage tower. He arrived and barged straight through the door, much to the shock of the secretary. You wanted to see me? He asked nervously. Oh yes, Naruto. I just wanted to know how you like your new team, he went on as he closed the door and activated the silencing seals, and maybe why you didn't tell me you could teleport. The Hokage asked like it was the most casual thing in the world. Naruto panicked. How did you? He was cut off by the Hokage. Do you honestly think there wouldn't be security cameras? I saw you teleport in and take the scroll, Naruto. You're lucky I burned the tape before the council got a hold of it. The old man questioned seriously. Naruto gulped. I'm sorry, he said, feeling guilty. Don't worry. You're not in trouble. I'm just a little hurt you wouldn't trust me enough to tell me. Sarutobi let the last sentence trail off. However, we cannot let this ability get into the wrong hands. You are not to be using it unless no one else is around or it is a life or death situation. Understood. Hi Hokage-sama. And if it makes you feel any better, I promise I won't keep any secrets from you anymore. Naruto said, looking downcast. Now, how about we see it in action? Naruto looked excited as he jumped to his apartment. You truly are surprising, Naruto-kun. To have an ability like that manifest in you, and surprisingly it uses little chakra, unlike the Yondaime's flying thunder god. The Sandaime mused dreamingly. The next day Naruto woke up, ate breakfast. He figured his sensei never ordered him not to and that he'd do better on a full stomach. He then hopped in the shower and headed off for the training field. He just hoped his sensei wouldn't be 3 hours late again. He arrived and saw Kiba already there. Look, I know we were never best friends, but if we are going to work as a team, I'm going to have to tolerate you. So how about we put our differences aside and at least tolerate each other? Naruto asked sincerely, surprising the loud Inuzuka, who just nodded dumbly. Naruto smiled at this and went to catch a few hours of shut-eye until their sensei arrived. Naruto notices Sakura arrive and they mainly sat there in silence until their team's sensei arrived in his classic smoke puff. Yo, you're late, Sakura accused loudly. Well, you see, I was on my way here when I ran into an old lady stuck in a tree. I rescued her when I found out she was actually an enemy ninja. I then battled her and then took her into captivity, Kakashi said bluntly. Sure. That's why you look like you just woke up. Naruto muttered bluntly. Kakashi I smiled at this. He sure was sharp. Okay, today you're going to be having a test to see if you can become a genin. He then took out 2 bells. You must get a bell to pass. Sakura scrunched her eyes in thought. But sensei, there is only 2 bells. She questioned dumbly. Of course, that means only 2 of you will pass. Kakashi answered in a matter-of-fact tone. Now you have until noon to get the bells. Begin. As soon as those words escaped Kakashi's mouth, the 3 genin disappeared into the bushes. Not bad. They seem pretty good at hiding. I wonder who will attack first. He wasn't disappointed as soon enough Kiba appeared in front of him. Kakashi raised an eyebrow. Was this kid really going to charge a Jonin? Let's go, Akamaru. Kiba yelled as he threw his dog a solider pill. Man-beast clone. Akamaru then turned into a copy of Kiba. All fours jutsu. Kiba yelled as he and his partner suddenly looked more feral and got on all fours. You seem good at your family's techniques. First lesson. Taijutsu, the art of hand-to-hand combat. Kiba and Akamaru charged Kakashi with surprising speed, but nothing Kakashi wasn't prepared for. He caught a punch aimed at his face and flipped Kiba over his back and threw him at Akamaru, effectively knocking his targets away. Kiba tried to regain his bearings and soon found he couldn't find his opponent. Left, right, up, down. He realized it too late though as 2 hands erupted from the ground and pulled Kiba underneath. Next lesson. Ninjutsu. Earth style. Inner decapitation jutsu. Kakashi explained. Meanwhile, in the bushes Naruto had confronted Sakura. Sakura, don't you think there is something odd about this test? We are just genin and yet they expect us to be able to take on a jonin. And who has ever heard of a two-man genin cell? Just think of the Sanin. A knowing look all of a sudden developed on Sakura's face. Oh, the true meaning of the test is teamwork. I get it. Yes. Let's go dig Kiba out and make a plan to take down Kakashi-sensei. Sakura nodded and they jumped across the trees to their down teammate. Naruto created a couple shadow clones to dig Kiba out, earning a dumbfounded look from their leader. Here was a kid no older than 12 making solid clones. The Naruto's digging Kiba out whispered the true meaning of the test in Kiba's ear as they were digging him out. Kakashi's eyebrows rose at this. They caught on so quickly. No one, not even his team when he was a genin, had caught on this fast. Soon enough the tree genin disappeared. Kakashi waited for a few minutes until he heard a cry of shadow clone jutsu. He then dropped his book at the sight of all of the clones. There had to be dozens, no hundreds of clones. He knew he had made the right decision in training this team instead of Sasuke, like the council tried to force on him. Flashback. Kakashi lazily walked into the council chamber, expecting for the annoying old hags to berate him for something or another he did. He wasn't mistaken. Hitaki Kakashi, we're glad you have made it. The elder women asked him. Kaharu was her name. Hi Kaharu-san. What is it you need from me? The copy nin asked lazily. Well, we are here to ask you to take Uchiha Sasuke as a genin, as you know he is graduating soon. She asked joyfully. She believed he would accept without question. I refuse. Kakashi stated bluntly. This struck a chord in the council. Hitaki-san, I assure you, this will benefit the village greatly. With the power of the Sharingan and you teaching Sasuke he could grow to be strong, Danzo explained, slightly upset at the man's defiance. Why not? Kaharu added sweetly. Simple. I don't want to train an arrogant brat like him. We don't even know if he'll awake his Sharingan. Kakashi explained matter-of-factly. The anger rose. He is the last loyal Uchiha. He could do wonders under a man who knows 1,000 jutsus such as you. The other elder, Homura, explained, trying to convince the man to train the last Uchiha. By that you mean you'd want me to let him copy my jutsu? More specifically my lightning blade? Kakashi asked with no hidden annoyance. Yes, and you will do as we command. The elders ordered. I don't follow your orders. I report directly to Hokage-sama and he already approved me teaching Uzumaki Naruto, Haruno Sakura and Inuzuka Kiba. Kakashi explained angrily. What? You'd rather teach that demon than the last loyal Uchiha? At this point Kakashi's ki rose through the roofs. How dare these people insult his sensei's son? He was the hero of the village. Are you really accusing the savior of this village, the boy who holds back it, to be a demon? Kakashi challenged angrily. Yes, he's nothing but the Kyuubi. A random counselor yelled with a voice full of hate. This crossed the line for Kakashi. Making 3 hand seals faster than anyone could see, Kakashi's lightning blade flared to life. For breaking the law of the Sandaime and insulting the village's hero, the punishment is death. With that he disappeared and reappeared in front of the villager, plunging his lightning-filled hand into the ignorant fool's chest. After he was done he glared at the rest of the council, daring them to try to challenge his beliefs. All he got was gulps. I'll be taking my leave now. Kakashi smiled as he puffed away, knowing he would be getting a talking to from the Hokage, even if technically he was just justifying the Sandaime's law. Kakashi's eye widened as he realized that the Narutos were already upon him. Crap, I was zoned out too long. He blocked a punch and swept another Naruto's feet, effectively dispersing him. He continued to dodge or block, occasionally countering, with just a little trouble. He was however impressed at the efficiency of the clones. Kakashi's visible eye widened again when he heard a cry of, Fang over Fang. The Sharingan user barely managed to dodge a tornado heading straight towards him. In his surprise, he didn't notice as a hand brushed his leg. The timer went off. You did surprisingly well, but you did not manage to get the bells. He sighed. He had expected better. What these bells? One of the Narutos poofed into Sakura, holding the bells. Well, you have both of them, so which of your teammates will you give one to? Kakashi asked, genuinely curious to know the answer. Both, she said as she tossed a bell to each of her teammates. They did more than me, so they deserve the bells. Also we, or more Naruto, figured out the true meaning of the test, which was teamwork. How else would we be able to take down a Jonin? Sakura asked him with surprising intellect. Kakashi was, for the lack of a better word, impressed. He hadn't expected his team to figure that out so easily. Well, is that so? I'm proud to announce that you are now true genin. Meet me here tomorrow at 8 a.m. for your first mission, and then we will start your training. The Scarecrow concluded happily as I smiled, at his new genin. He knew they would grow up to be great someday, with a little guidance and a few pointers here and there. Woohoo! We did it, Akamaru, yelled an extremely happy Kiba. Yes. Just wait until I tell Sasuke-kun. Guess who? Sweet, I'm finally a ninja, muttered Naruto dreamily. Hokage Tower. Soon enough, the various Jonin assigned to take teams this year had all arrived at the Hokage Tower to inform their leader of their new team, or if they failed the team. Please start, Kurenai-san, the old Hokage questioned joyfully. Of course, Hokage-sama. Team 8, consisting of Hyuga Hinata, Uchiha Sasuke and Aburame Shino has passed, albeit barely. Sasuke refused to work with his teammates at first, and it was not until he gave his lunch to Hinata that I saw promise out of him. The Sandaime sighed, expecting this, and then nodded to Asuma. Team 10, consisting of Nara Shikamaru, Yamanaka Ino and Akamichi Choji have passed their test. They used flawless teamwork, utilizing Shikamaru's strategic mind to capture me with their respective clan jutsu. Asuma explained proudly. Now how about your team, Kakashi? At this point everyone waited for the inevitable failure. Team 7, consisting of Uzumaki Naruto, Inuzuka Kiba, and Haruno Sakura, passed with flying colors. At this point everyone was shocked. Asuma's cigarette had even landed on the floor. They utilized great teamwork after Kiba had foolishly attacked me head-on. It was surprisingly Naruto who determined the true meaning of the test, and after sending an assault of shadow clones after me had me square on for Kiba's fang over fang. Of course I dodged, but not before Sakura had gotten the bells. Kakashi explained with complete seriousness. This further shocked the others, because it wasn't every day you heard of a genin capable of making enough shadow clones to give the Hatake Kakashi a workout. Good. If that is all, you are dismissed. All but you, Kakashi. At this the other Jonin shusined out of the room, leaving the Scarecrow and the professor left. Now Kakashi, I know you know about Naruto's heritage. Hiruzen trailed off. Of course I know he's Minato's son. I mean, he is like a clone of him. Kakashi yelled like it was the most obvious thing in the world, which surprisingly, it was. Yes, but we can't let this get out, as Minato had a lot of enemies. Minato had left in a scroll a set of instructions that we are to tell Naruto of his heritage when he became a Chunin. The professor explained. Of course I understand, but that's not why I called you here. Sarutobi took a puff out of his pipe. Then why did you? Kakashi asked nervously. It has come to my attention that Naruto has developed certain abilities, ones with great effects. Using these abilities, I wouldn't be surprised if Naruto could defeat a Chunin in all-out combat. Sarutobi explained, causing Kakashi's eyebrow to rise. What are these abilities, Hokage-sama? He asked with great interest. That is something you must ask him yourself. However, I would like you to know about this ahead of time as he is your student after all. Let me just say that this ability is similar to your sensei's prize technique. He said, choosing his words carefully. You are dismissed. Kakashi was now shocked, to say the least. A ability similar to the technique that gave the Yondaime the name, Konoha's Yellow Flash, and spread fear throughout the entire world. Things were defiantly going to get interesting, he mused. And with those final thoughts he disappeared in a cloud of smoke. The next day Team 7 met at their usual training grounds, and waited the daily couple hours for their tardy sensei to show up. Soon enough though, they sensed his signature. Yo! He greeted happily. You're late. Naruto, Kiba and Sakura all shouted in harmony. You see, I was on my way here when I saw Jiraiya-sama and I had to wait in an enormous line to get my book signed. He explained, surprisingly telling the truth for once. Okay, I can buy that. His genin muttered. Now let's head to the Hokage Tower to pick up our first mission. He exclaimed as he saw the bright eyes of his students. Oh boy, they were in for a treat. Naruto was beyond happy. He was getting his first mission. I wonder what we'll do. Maybe we'll save a princess. Or escort a daimyo. Or maybe, similar thoughts flew through the three genins' heads. Hokage-sama, Team 7 reporting for our first mission. Let's see, we have, cleaning the Inuzuka's kennel, babysitting, chasing Tora, or, the Hokage went on, causing the three genin to face fault at the lame missions. This was going to be a long career. After a couple missions the three genin were gathered around their sensei, because he had promised them training. Okay, today we will be determining your elemental affinities. There is a set of exercises to master your element, but we are mainly doing this to see what jutsu will come more naturally to you. Just focus chakra into this paper. If it splits in half you have wind, if it crumples up you have lightning, if it burns you have fire, if it gets wet you have water, and if it turns to dust you have earth. Kakashi explained, slipping into lecture mode. The three genin were awestruck as they stared intently at Kakashi. They each then took a piece of paper. Sakura's card got wet, meaning she was a water type. Kiba's card turned to dust, meaning he was an earth type. Naruto was surprising. His card split in half, meaning he was a wind type. Surprisingly, there was not many wind types in Konoha. Okay, now I'll teach you each a basic jutsu for each of your elements. Don't be surprised when it takes you a while to master the jutsu though, as you are just new genin. Sakura, I'll be teaching you the water release, water wall jutsu. It is a defensive C-rank water jutsu and is used to create a wall of water to surround you. Obviously you will need to be near a water supply to use it. He showed her the seals and she ran off to practice it. Kiba, you will be learning an offensive earth technique called the earth release, earth spear jutsu. This jutsu allows the user to stick his hand in the ground and pull a spear made of earth out. It is also C rank. Once mastered you can pull other weapons out as well. He then showed Kiba the seals and he ran off to practice it. Next, Naruto, I will be teaching you a C rank offensive wind jutsu called the wind release, great breakthrough. It allows the user to create a gust of wind capable of knocking the enemy over with. The more chakra you pump in the stronger it becomes. He then showed Naruto the seals and our blonde protagonist ran off to practice. The next couple weeks went by quickly. After not being able to do their techniques they bugged Kakashi into teaching them tree walking, which took Sakura a couple hours, Naruto a week and Kiba 5 days to master. This helped a lot with their control. Dog breath in position. Kiba muttered angrily into a microphone, vowing to hurt his blonde teammate. Pink banshee in position. I hate you, Naruto. Sakura whispered with anger clearly written in her voice. Future Hokage in position. Naruto replied back. Good team, move out. With this, the three genin jumped out of the trees and grabbed the wretched cat that had ruined days of their lives. They had caught the thing at least 10 times. Of course, the cat kicked and scratched, and Naruto couldn't make a shadow clone carry it as it would disperse it, so he was stuck carrying it back to the Hokage Tower. Hokage-sama, Team 7 reporting mission success. Kakashi bowed to the aging Hokage. Good work, now we have babysitting the daimyo's nephew, or, the Sandaime didn't get to finish as Naruto burst out in anger. No, 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 no. We want a harder mission. Come on Gigi, we've done enough of this child's play. Naruto voiced out loud as his teammates nodded their heads. Well, you have done the minimum on D ranks required to do AC rank, so, Kakashi. What do you think? Well, Hokage-sama, I do agree with my students, and I think we are wasting their talent doing such low-level missions. Kakashi said, as his students looked at him in happiness. Okay. Team 7, you will be doing a low C rank mission to the Land of Waves. Our client is building a bridge and needs protection from bandits and the like. The Hokage then spoke into his microphone. Mia, could you send in Tazuna please? Hey everyone. Welcome to Chapter 3 of More Than a Ninja. I'm torn and need a vote for something. Should Naruto be paired with Fem Haku, if she lives, Tamari, Tenten, no pairing, or other? If you want to vote, just leave a review or PM me with the name of the girl. Also, thanks for the amazing reviews and hits. I'm happy to say I'm over 2K hits for the story. I never thought it would be this popular. Also, I know I have done a little bit of bashing and I'm going to change it, eventually. I hate pre-time skip Sakura. I am, however, going to change her and make her more shinobi and less fangirl. Now that I'm done with the annoying AN, please enjoy this chapter. The three genin waited anxiously for their client to walk in the door. The door to the Hokage's office creaked open and an old, drunk-looking man walked in. He wore a plain brown shirt and pants and had a weird triangle-ish hat. He also had a bottle of whiskey in one hand, adding to the drunken effect. These brats are supposed to protect me. Don't make me laugh. They look like idiots, especially the short blonde one. Tazuna slurred out, causing 3 KIs to be aimed at him, courtesy of the young genin. I assure you my team is more than capable of handling a mere C-rank mission. And even if it becomes out of their league, I'm a jonin. Kakashi I smiled as his mentioning of the mission rank caused Tazuna to sweat. He'd have to ask about that later. Team, we will meet at the North Gate in 45 minutes. Pack enough supplies to last 2 to 3 weeks. The one-eyed jonin commanded as the three genin left with smiles on their faces. They knew they were ready for this mission, with all the training they had done. Over the last few weeks the three genin had progressed nicely. They had all learned 2 low-rank jutsu, an offensive and a defensive, utilizing their chakra elements. They had also all started to get along with each other. Kakashi was immensely proud of the way his team had progressed. Besides learning new jutsu, Kakashi had also had them work on their chakra control, chakra reserves, speed and stamina. This had been done by running multiple laps around the village every morning. The team of genin arrived at the North Gate in 45 minutes and they were surprised to see their usually tardy sensei on time. Alright Team 7, let's move out. Kakashi said cheerfully. Yeah, Naruto yelled happily. Yahoo! Let's go Akamaru. Kiba grinned with joy. Hi sensei. Sakura smiled. The team walked in silence for a while until Kakashi glanced down to see a puddle. Strange. It hasn't rained for weeks yet there is a puddle, must be a genjutsu. I guess I'll wait to see who the people are targeting. Kakashi thought wearily. It wasn't long until 2 people rose from the puddle, revealing the demon brothers of the mist. They rushed at Kakashi and seemed to wrap their chains around him. They then pulled and ripped him into pieces, smirking at their handiwork. Kakashi-sensei, Naruto, Sakura, and Kiba all yelled in surprise. Hey! One down, three to go. The left brother, Gozo smirked. The three genin got over their shock and jumped into action. Sakura pulled out a kunai and proceeded to guard their client, while Kiba and Naruto took on the demon brothers. Naruto quickly took out a couple shuriken and threw them at the brothers, effectively pinning them to a tree. The ex-mist nins growled and unhooked their chains. Not to be outdone, Kiba appeared in front of the surprised nuke nins and delivered a vicious roundhouse kick the one on the right, Mizu's, stomach. This split the two up and Naruto jumped to engage Gozo. Gozo charged at Naruto and brought his gauntlet down, intending to take the blonde's life, only for Naruto to parry it with a kunai. Naruto then made a quick set of hand seals and held his hands out in front of him. Wind release. Great breakthrough, Naruto yelled as a giant gust of wind flew at the missing ninja with surprising speed. It hit Gozo head on and knocked him unconscious. Naruto let a breath he didn't know he had been holding out. Kiba charged at the former mist ninja, already in his all-fours jutsu. He tried to swipe the man only for him to block with his gauntlet. You'll have to do better than that. Mizu mocked with a smirk. Kiba growled and started rapidly spinning. Fang over fang, he yelled as he flew at the surprised shinobi. Mizu threw himself to the right only to find a kunai pointed at his neck. Game over, the somehow alive copy nin said. But how? We killed you. Mizu did a great impression of a fish out water. Kakashi just pointed to the pile of logs sitting where he was killed. Mizu's mouth made an, "Oh. Kakashi-sensei, you're alive." Naruto shouted as he threw down Gozo's unconscious body. I would have had him even if you didn't show up. Kiba whined. Yes, but I didn't want you to knock him out, or else I couldn't interrogate him. Kakashi explained as he tied the two brothers together. Now, who were you after? Kakashi growled out, suddenly turning from the laid-back sensei to the famed Sharingan Kakashi, killer of hundreds. It West was the bridge keeper. Mizu muttered weakly. Who were you working for? The man spit on Kakashi's face. Go to hell. Kakashi then hit a pressure point, knocking him out. He then turned to the sweating self-proclaimed super bridge builder. Care to explain? He asked with a glare. I don't know what you're talking about, Tazuna lied through his teeth. You're lying, Kakashi accused. Tazuna sighed, knowing he was caught. Well, you see, a few years back a man named Gato arrived in Wave. Sakura cut him off. You mean Gato of the Gato shipping industry? Yes, that Gato. He is one of the richest men in the world. He does indeed own a shipping industry, but that's not where he makes most of his fortune. He works with drugs, slaves, women, and lots of other illegal things. This isn't why he wants me dead, though. Gato took complete control over our economy, leeching away our money and leaving us in poverty. Our only hope lies in the bridge I'm building. I lied about the mission rank because we don't have enough money for AB or a rank mission. I beg of you, please continue on with the mission. Without you our country will lose all hope and I will die. And if I die my daughter and cute grandson will hate you in Konoha. Tazuna finished. You deliberately lied about the mission rank, almost got me killed, and got a team of fresh genin sent on a B, possibly A, ranked mission. Give me one good reason not to leave right now. Kakashi asked seriously. Please, you don't understand, I thought they would send a group of Chunin. I didn't know. Tazuna begged. Well, I guess it's not up to me. Guys, what do you think? Kakashi sighed, looking at his students. I say we go. Naruto yelled, not missing a beat. I'm in. The brunette Inuzuka grinned. Sakura seemed uncertain at first, but eventually a smile appeared on her face. Me too. We have to help them. Well, I guess it's unanimous. We will continue with the mission. Kakashi smiled at the bravery of his students. This caused the genin to smile happily. Thank you. I know with your help I'll be able to build a super bridge. Tazuna's face nearly split with his grin. Team 7+1 walked quietly until they got to a dock and saw a man with a rowboat. They got in and continued on in silence for a few minutes until the bridge came into appearance. Whoa, was all Sakura said. It's enormous. Naruto agreed. Yup. This bridge is my masterpiece. It is how we will one day become free of Gato's control. After landing, the group again walked deep in thought. Next time Gato will send a stronger ninja. Probably a Jonin. Kakashi thought worriedly. Surprising everyone, Naruto threw a kunai into a bush. Everyone tensed only to relax as they saw a small rabbit hop out. Naruto, you baka. You almost killed the poor thing. Sakura yelled in a protective manner. Kakashi's one visible eye narrowed. That rabbit had a white coat, and it's the middle of summer. That means it must have been kept indoors. It must have been used for a substitution. Kakashi panicked as he came to that conclusion. Everyone get down, he yelled as he threw himself over the bridge builder. The three genin ducked and saw a giant cleaver sail over their heads and right into a tree. Then a man appeared on the handle of the nearly 7-foot-long blade. The man was wearing cameo pants, arm warmers, wasn't wearing a shirt and had his headband on sideways. He also wore bandages wrapped around his face. Kakashi's eye narrowed. Zabuza Momochi, the demon of the mist. To what do I owe the honor? Hitaki Kakashi. No wonder the demon brothers lost. I'll give you one chance to hand over the bridge builder or I'll kill you and your little twerps. Kakashi pulled out a kunai at this. Zabuza saw this and put his hands in a seal. All of a sudden the mist rolled in and the four Konoha nin couldn't see a thing. This killing intent, it's tremendous. Is this what a Jonin is capable of? I can't stand it. I'm going to kill my. Kiba thought as Zabuza's killing intent nearly suffocated him. Guys, protect the bridge builder. I won't let a teammate of mine die. Kakashi I smiled at his team as he pulled up his headband. The Sharingan. So soon. I'm glad to see you are taking this seriously. The demon of the mist's voice seemed to come from everywhere in the mist. There are 8 points to end a life in one hit. Which should I choose? Zabuza spoke menacingly. Kakashi narrowed his eyes as Zabuza appeared behind the bridge builder, ready to kill him. Zabuza growled as Kakashi intercepted his blade with a kunai. They were locked in a power struggle until they broke away from each other. Kakashi charged Zabuza and appeared to stab him with a kunai, only for the ex-mist nin to turn into water. A water clone. Kakashi wondered out loud. That's right. Zabuza yelled as he appeared behind Kakashi and sliced him in half. With that, Kakashi turned into water. He copied my jutsu through this mist. Kakashi charged Zabuza with a kunai as the two Jonin locked in another power struggle between kunai and cleaver. Due to Zabuza's strength, he overpowered the copy nin and sent him flying. Kakashi landed on the water and his eyes widened as he saw the eyebrow-less ninja charging at him. Kakashi then ducked under the water. He then realized his mistake as the water became heavier. Water prison jutsu, Zabuza stated calmly as he held his hand into a sphere of water that contained the elite Jonin of Konoha. Run. He's too much for you. Take the bridge builder and go. Kakashi shouted towards his team. Yeah, right. Wasn't it you who said those who abandon their teammates are worse than trash? Naruto piped in loudly. Yeah, sensei, we won't abandon you. Kiba agreed as Sakura nodded her head. Fools. You should have run while you had the chance. Zabuza then created 10 water clones that went after the 3 genin. 2 simultaneous calls of Wind Release, Great Breakthrough, and Earth Release, Earth Spear Jutsu, were heard as a giant gust of wind hit the clones head on, dispelling 6 of them. Kiba then threw a spear and dispelled the rest. Next, Naruto reached into his bag and grabbed a giant shuriken and threw it to Kiba. Kiba understood the hidden message as he opened up the shuriken and threw it at the masked enemy. You think your little toy is going to help you? Zabuza challenged mockingly, catching the shuriken only to be caught off guard as he sees a second shuriken in the first one's shadow. He then smirks and jumps over it. Is that all you got? He quickly turned his head to see the second shuriken transform into Naruto as he latched onto Zabuza's back and held a kunai to his neck. Gotcha, the blonde Jinchuriki said with a smirk. Zabuza growled, knowing he couldn't get the blonde off with keeping Kakashi in his prison. He sighed and released the prison and he turned into water, shocking Naruto but releasing Kakashi at the same time. Good work getting me out, Naruto, but I'll take it from here. Kakashi motioned for Naruto to leave. You think you can defeat me now? Zabuza growled as he started a long sequence of hand seals, looking in shock to see Kakashi doing the exact same seals. They both finished their seals as twin dragons of water erupted from the lake and seemed to dance around the users before they lunged at each other in a deadlock of strength. The two dragons then dispersed each other. Zabuza narrowed his eyes as he started another long set of seals, looking in shock to see an image of himself beside the copy nin as he followed the same sequence of seals. How? The ex-mist ninja screamed in his head as Kakashi's lone Sharingan eye seemed to spin, adding to Zabuza's distress. Due to the shock of seeing the leaf nin's eye spin, Zabuza paused, for a mere second, on his hand seals. This was enough for the white-haired scarecrow to get the edge. Can you see the future? Zabuza growled out angrily. Yes. And your future is death. He proclaimed loudly as he finished his set of hand seals. Water release. Great waterfall jutsu. Just then an enormous whirlpool gushed out of the lake towards Zabuza. The demon of the mist visibly grimaced, preparing for the pain. He was then sent flying through the forest and smacked into a tree. Kakashi and his team made their way over to the downed enemy. They were relieved that the fighting was finally over. This is it, Zabuza. Kakashi started towards his kunai pouch only to be cut off as three Senbon needles flew from the tree and lodged themselves into Zabuza's neck, killing him instantly. Thank you for wearing him down. I am a hunter nin from Kiri. I have been following Zabuza for a long time and will take him off your hands now. The newcomer greeted in a feminine voice as she appeared next to the body. Kakashi checked for a pulse. Well, he's dead, Kakashi announced, causing his genin to let a breath out. Thank you for your assistance, Konoha Shinobi. I will take the body off to dispose of it. The girl then placed a hand on the dead man's shoulder and disappeared in a swirl of water. Kakashi sighed as he covered his eye with his headband again. Now Team Let's, he was cut off as his eyes rolled back into his head and he fell over backwards. Kakashi-sensei, Sakura yelled as she examined the body for a pulse. He's alive. If I had to guess, I'd say he is suffering from chakra exhaustion, the pink-haired girl concluded as her two teammates nodded their heads in understanding. Tazuna, how far away is your house? Naruto asked. Not too far this way. Follow me, you can stay with us. Tazuna replied as he walked off, followed by Kiba and Sakura. Naruto grumbled to himself as he created a couple of shadow clones to carry his exhausted teacher. They arrived at Tazuna's house in about 10 minutes' time, opening the door to find a very worried woman. "Tu-san," the woman exclaimed as she rushed over to her father. "Don't worry, Tsunami. These are the super ninja who protected me on my way here. They will oversee me finishing the bridge." Tazuna grinned. "It's nice to meet you. Thank you so much for protecting my father. He is really the only hope our country has left." "My name is Tsunami." The women greeted with a grateful smile. "It's really no problem. We really need to bring our sensei to bed though, he needs to recover from his latest fight." Sakura greeted politely while Naruto and Kiba walked in carrying Kakashi. Oh my. Follow me, right this way. Tsunami motioned for them to follow her up the stairs as she arrived in a room with a single futon lying on the ground. Thank you very much, Tsunami-san. I'm Naruto and these are my teammates Sakura and Kiba. Naruto explained, pointing to the two teammates. And this, he pointed to the downed Jonin, as our sensei, Kakashi. Nice to meet you, Naruto-san, Sakura-san, Kiba-san. Tsunami answered, earning her a nod from the three genin. Any chance you have another couple beds? I don't know about you guys, but I'm beat. Kiba yawned loudly, blushing. Of course, if you'll just follow me to the other guest room. Tsunami then led the three young ninja to their room, where they all plopped down on their respective futon and fell asleep almost instantly, causing Tsunami to giggle and leave to question her father about the Konoha nin's state. Haku sighed as she pulled the multiple senbon out of her mentor's neck, relieved that she had arrived right in time. Ouch. Damn that Kakashi and his Sharingan. Zabuza cursed loudly. Don't worry, Zabuza-sama, we won't underestimate them this time. Haku explained with confidence. Yes, and next time those brats will all be dead, along with the bridge builder, Zabuza planned maniacally. The next day, Naruto awoke to the smell of steaming bacon. He took a few seconds to try to remember where he was, until the past day's events came playing back in his head. He nodded to himself as he walked downstairs to the kitchen, seeing Tsunami making bacon and eggs. Good morning, Naruto-san. You're right in time. Breakfast will be done in about 5 minutes. Tsunami smiled warmly, causing Naruto to blush and make his way to the table. He saw both his teammates already sitting down and he nodded to them. Any news on Kakashi-sensei? Naruto asked curiously. Not yet, but he seems to be doing better. Kiba answered. That's good. Naruto yawned and stretched himself out. Yeah, I still can't believe how amazing Kakashi-sensei was out there. I almost died from just feeling their killing intent. Sakura shivered. Well, I guess that's how a Jonin compares to genin like us. Naruto offered and Tsunami came in with the food. Inari. Dad. Time for breakfast. The brunette called loudly. Seconds later, Tazuna and a young boy walked into the room. The boy had on a tan shirt with green overalls and a long collar. He also had on a tan hat with 2 blue horizontal stripes on it. He seemed to be brooding and reminded Naruto an awful lot of a certain brooding dark-haired guy he knew. The food was passed out and everyone dug in happily. The 3 Konoha nin were glad to have such a great meal after walking for the past day. OWH's mesh goaush thish isa sohi good. Naruto blurted out in the middle of a mouthful of food. Somehow everyone seemed to understand he was complimenting the food. Thank you. Tsunami smiled and they all continued eating. Why do you even try? Inari suddenly yelled as he pushed out from the table and ran up to his room. What the heck was that about? Kiba muttered angrily. Tsunami excused herself before she followed the young boy. Well, you see, Inari's father was a man named Kaiza. He was the hero of Wave. Tazuna went on as he explained how Kaiza was killed for standing up to Gato and explained how he and Inari met. At the end of the story, the Konoha nin all sat there wide-eyed. Whoa, I can't believe someone could be so cruel. Sakura muttered as she wiped away a tear. Yeah, that's just not right, Kiba continued. This is exactly why we're going to put a stop to Gato once and for all. Naruto grinned as his 2 teammates did as well. Hell yeah, right, Akamaru. Kiba joined in. Bark bark. Later that day, the 3 genin were inside their sensei's room, waiting for him to wake up. The lazy Jonin groaned and his eyes fluttered open. What hit me? Kakashi asked himself as he rubbed his head. Kakashi-sensei, you're awake. Naruto ran up to him. Yes, Naruto. I just suffered from chakra exhaustion. I must have overdone it with my Sharingan again. Kakashi trailed off as he took on a more serious demeanor. However, I think that wasn't the last time we'll be seeing our friend Zabuza, the one-eyed Jonin finished. What? But you checked his pulse. That hunter nin killed him. Kiba yelled out. Yes, but I found it strange that the hunter nin didn't dispose of the body on sight, like they are supposed to. The head, and possibly the Kubikiri Haucho, is all the hunter would have needed to prove the kill. Kakashi reasoned. So you think? Sakura trailed off, not wanting to finish that sentence. Yes. I think Zabuza is still alive. Kakashi nodded grimly. Oh man. And if that hunter is working with him, we will have more people to deal with. The blonde demon container mused. Precisely. This is exactly the reason we will be doing some training. The copy nin explained. But how are you going to train us when you can barely move? Kiba asked with a frown. Don't worry, what I'll be teaching you, I won't need to do any strenuous work. Kakashi said, motioning for his team to follow him. The four ninja, one on crutches, arrived at a small clearing with a pond in the middle. Today we will be learning water walking. Water walking is an advanced chakra control technique, much like tree climbing, except you have to constantly focus chakra to your feet. This will not only improve your control to the level needed for me to teach you your next jutsu, but will improve your capacity as well. Kakashi explained as he took a step onto the water and seemed to stand directly on top of it. Cool. Naruto shouted as he focused chakra to his feet and stepped out onto the water, only to yelp as he splashed into the freezing cold water. He grumbled as he got out and took his shirt off. Oh, and by the way, if you don't do it right, you fall into the approximately 45-degree water. Kakashi I smiled at his student's misfortune as he left to catch up on his reading. The three genin dragged their feet into Tazuna's house after a hard day of training. They had each progressed nicely, to the point where Sakura could do the water walking exercise for 15 minutes before she ran out of chakra. Kiba could take about a half dozen, give or take a few, steps into the lake before he would slip with his control, and Naruto could take around 5 or 6 steps before he would fall. Overall, Kakashi was incredibly proud of his students for doing so well for their first day. They flopped down into their seats and were served dinner with the rest of the family. It was chicken teriyaki with rice balls, classic but good nonetheless. The dinner, however, was interrupted from a small boy slamming his silverware on the table. Why do you try so hard? You can't win. Gato will just kill you. He yelled angrily. Well, giving up doesn't help at all, does it? Maybe you are willing to give up without a fight, but not as kid. Naruto argued. You don't understand what he will do. You don't know anything about pain or suffering. You've lived a worry-free life back in your village. Inari called darkly, on the verge of tears. Shut up. You think I don't understand pain? Naruto yelled. I don't give a shit if your father figure died, because guess what? I never had one. I never had any family. I have been hated by the entire village for something I have no control over. I've been running from angry mobs since I was 5. So you think you've had it rough? Well, grow up, kid, because there's always someone who's had it worse. Naruto growled out as he pushed in his chair and left the house, saying he was going to go train. Naruto sighed as he worked on his water walking. He knew he had gone a little far with the kid, but to be fair, the kid was just asking for it with all that whining and complaining, not to mention he reminded Naruto a lot like a certain Tem he knew. Of course he'd apologize to the kid once he got back. Naruto yawned as he made his way back home. On the way he decided to just sleep outside, so he crawled up into a ball under the tree and fell asleep. Meanwhile, back at the house, Tsunami confronted Kakashi. What your student said back there, is it true? Tsunami asked as Sakura and Kiba listened in quietly. Yes, but he sugar-coated it as well. He never had a family and he was kicked out of the orphanage when he was 5. Since then he has been living in a beaten old apartment. He is also hated by most of the village for reasons I can't say. Kakashi seemed to sink into his clothes at this point. In all reality, Naruto should be seen as a hero for what happened to him, but the village is too blind to see what's not directly in front of their faces. Kakashi muttered angrily. I would have never guessed. He always seemed so happy, so full of confidence. I would expect him to be like Inari, but worse, for all that happened to him. Yeah, I know what you mean. In all reality, he should have ended up like Inari. Somehow he didn't. And you know what? Kakashi asked rhetorically. I don't think I've ever once seen him cry. I guess he just decided one day that crying wouldn't change anything. Sadly, his trust is very thin and he only trusts a select group of people. I'm proud to be part of this group. Kakashi thought as he remembered his conversation with Naruto a couple weeks ago. Flashback. It was the day after Kakashi's talk with the Hokage and he was going to confront his blonde student about this ability. The only problem was he had no idea where to find his student. He had checked Ichiraku's, the Hokage monument, and his apartment. He was about to give up when he felt a spike of familiar chakra come from a nearby training field. He rushed over to investigate. He gasped in shock as he saw his student create at least 1,000 shadow clones. How? Kakashi whispered to himself as he saw his blonde student have an all-out free-for-all fight with his clones. This lasted 20 minutes until Naruto was the last one standing. Naruto panted after his training only to hear clapping as he turned to see his tardy sensei standing in a tree. He was shocked that he couldn't sense the man. Kakashi sensei, what are you doing here? Naruto questioned. Well, I was looking for you and I couldn't help but notice your little battle royal. Kakashi smiled. But the reason I came to find you was because the Hokage told me you have an interesting ability, although he wouldn't tell me what. Kakashi frowned when he saw his student flinch. Well, no, I mean yes, Naruto was cut off by his teacher. Don't worry Naruto, I won't tell anyone. I just want to see it, seeing as how I am your sensei and should know all of your abilities in order to teach you useful jutsu. Kakashi smiled warmly. Naruto relaxed and nodded his head at this. Okay, prepare to be amazed. If you could eat anything in the world right now, what would you want? Naruto seemingly asked out of the blue, causing Kakashi to sweat drop, thinking it was some kind of pointless ability. I don't know, a stick of dango. Kakashi stated, expecting for a dumb prank. Okay, I'll be right back. Naruto then suddenly disappeared, not like a shushin or a burst of speed, but he just vanished. It was like he just teleported. 10 seconds later Naruto appeared in the same spot with a plate of dango and he tossed one to his new sensei. So what do you think? Naruto asked. You can teleport. Kakashi was shocked to say the least. Naruto merely nodded his head. This is amazing. It used little chakra and can take you to the dango restaurant and back in an instant. Kakashi asked. MMHMM. I can also use it for short. Naruto disappeared and reappeared behind the copy nin. Distances. Naruto finished. How far can you go? Kakashi questioned the Yondaime's legacy. I don't know. I've gone as far as that old cabin Gigi used to bring me to, but it uses up more chakra. Kakashi's eye bulged from its socket. He knew what cabin the blonde was talking about and it was located on the northern end of Hinokuni. That's incredible. With some practice you could use this to surpass the Yondaime's flying thunder god. Kakashi asked, almost slipping and saying, your father. Naruto's grin threatened to slip his face at this point. It was a well-known fact that Naruto looked up the fourth Hokage as a role model. I also think you should let your teammates know about this eventually. Kakashi stroked his chin in thought. At least before the Chunin exams. I know, I'll get around to telling them once I get used to it for combat. Naruto promised and shared a smile with his sensei before they both went their separate ways. Flashback end. Kakashi sighed and wondered if his blonde student would have to reveal that ability during this mission. It would be better than revealing the Kyuubi, however. A young girl in a light pink kimono walked into the forest with a small basket in her arm. Her eyes narrowed as she saw someone sleeping in the forest she was in. Her eyes looked at the black-clad blonde before she realized he was one of the Konoha ninja from before. She slipped out a senbon from her sleeve and slowly moved it to his neck, before she decided against it and instead opted to shake him gently by the shoulder. Hey, wake up. You'll catch a cold if you sleep out here. This was the sound Naruto woke up to as he saw the single most beautiful girl he had ever seen. She had long brown hair and soft chocolate eyes and a warm smile. Thanks, but I don't get sick very easily. Naruto explained. Haku nodded and asked, why were you sleeping out here anyway? Well, you see, I was out training late last night and I didn't feel like going back to the house, Naruto replied sheepishly as he rubbed the back of his head. So you're a ninja? Haku asked. Yup. Naruto chirped happily. You seem pretty strong. Why do you need to train? Haku asked curiously. Well, I'm not strong enough. You see, we're on a mission and I need to be strong if I want to protect my friends. Naruto pumped a fist in the air at this last part. So you have people that are precious to you? Haku asked with interest in her voice. Images of the old man at Ikiruka's, Ayame, the Hokage, Kakashi-sensei, Kiba, and Sakura to a degree flashed through his mind. Yes. I don't have many, but I'd protect them even if it took my life. Good. Haku answered as Naruto looked at her questionably. You see, when a person has someone to protect, only then do they become truly strong. You will become strong, Naruto-kun. Haku waved as she left a blushing Naruto behind. Wait. Naruto called. What's your name? Haku. This was all the woman said as she departed, leaving a stunned Naruto left to think about what the strange beauty had said. Haku and Zabuza sat in their hideout, planning their next attack, when a certain annoying midget walked in. I can't believe this. Some demon you are, you couldn't even kill a couple of kids. Gato accused, trying to sound deadly. Zabuza growled at this. I'll get them next time. Gato didn't look pleased as he reached for Zabuza's mask. Let's see what you hide under here. The man was shocked as a hand grabbed and snapped his arm, courtesy of Haku. Get your filthy hands off Zabuza-sama. Haku ordered with rage. This caused the two samurai to unsheath their swords, only for Haku to appear between them with a senbon pointed at each neck. Gato knew when he was in trouble. Whatever. You better not fail next time or so help me. Gato yelled through the pain of his arm as he exited along with his samurai junkies. Zabuza snorted, muttering something about lousy weaklings having all the money. Naruto came walking into the house in the morning, earning him an amused look from Kakashi. Where have you been? Kakashi asked, reading his perverted book. I was training late outside and I decided to sleep outside. Naruto explained, leaving out the part about meeting Haku. Kakashi mumbled as he giggled perversely at his book. Naruto just sat down at the kitchen and ate his cold breakfast, wondering if the book Kakashi read every single day ever had an ending. Soon Kiba and Sakura appeared down the stairs. Good, you're all here. I figure it will be at least a week until Zabuza recovers from his death-like state, so we have 5 more days to perfect the water walking exercise. By the end of the week I expect each of you to be able to walk on the water for prolonged periods of time. Kakashi explained, earning him 3 simultaneous highs. As the week went on, Sakura mastered the exercise by about the 4th day while Kiba mastered it on the 6th. We were now on the 7th as both the two stated genin were sitting at the table eating dinner. Where's Naruto? Sakura wondered loudly. He's still working on that exercise, Kiba answered. I don't get why it's taking him so long. Kakashi answered this question for him. Well, you see, Kiba, Naruto has much larger chakra reserves than you, or even me. This caused Kiba to go wide-eyed. Although this is a double-edged sword as it makes his chakra control very bad, although knowing him he won't quit until he has learned it. Kakashi finished with a smirk. Kiba nodded at this, knowing the work antics of his teammate. So Kakashi-sensei, when do you think Zabuza will be back? Sakura questioned the copy nin. If I had to guess, I would say tomorrow or the day after, seeing it has been a week now, Kakashi added as an afterthought. Sakura frowned at this, inwardly scared that the man who had gone toe-to-toe with her sensei would be back with help from a mysterious hunter nin. I guess I'll go look for Naruto now, Kakashi sighed as he stood up and closed his book. Kakashi wandered into the area the team had been training at, to see an exhausted Naruto trying to make his way back to the house. He raised his eyebrow at this. I got it, Kakashi-sensei, Naruto panted as he fell backwards. Kakashi was shocked at this. With the amount of chakra that kid has, I would have figured it'd take him at least another week, Kakashi thought to himself as he looked down to see his student unconscious with a smile on his face. Minato-sensei, he's so much like you were, Kakashi thought in remorse as he picked up the blonde and Shusen back to the house. The next day Kakashi, Sakura and Kiba sat at the table eating breakfast. Okay team, today you are going to be accompanying Tazuna to the bridge with me, in case Zabuza is to come back. Kakashi stated. If he was worried about the battle to come, he sure didn't show it. But sensei, what about Naruto? Kiba asked loudly, reminding the team that their favorite blonde still hasn't woken up. Kakashi sighed. He is still exhausted, let's just leave him be for now. The rest of the team nodded as they followed the two gray-haired men to the bridge. Team 7, -1 member, and Tazuna arrived at the bridge to see all the employees knocked unconscious. Kakashi narrowed his eye as the mist seemed to thicken. It's been a while, Kakashi. Zabuza's voice seemed to come from all direction. Back on your feet so soon? Kakashi asked as he expelled his chakra, causing the mist to scatter and reveal Zabuza and his young apprentice standing in the middle. So we were right, the hunter was working with you. Yes, it seems that way, doesn't it? The demon of the mist smirked as he created a half-dozen water clones. Haha, look at this. Your student is shaking. Kiba frowned at this. I'm shaking, in excitement. Kiba growled out as he ran and dispersed the 6 water clones in a few seconds. Looks like you might have a rival Haku. Zabuza pointed out the ice user. So it seems, she replied in a monotone voice. Sakura, you guard Tazuna. Kiba, you will take on the hunter nin while I take on Zabuza. Kakashi ordered as he lifted up his headband, revealing the famed Sharingan in all of its glory. At this the group separated, leaving Zabuza and Kakashi standing there, waiting for the other to make a first move. You may have the Sharingan Hatake. But I know its weakness, you can't copy me if you can't see me. The ex-mist nin smirked as the mist nearly doubled in thickness. What are you doing, Zabuza? You can't see either. Kakashi narrowed his eyes as he whipped out a kunai just in time to block as a cleaver nearly sliced him in two. What are you doing, Zabuza? You can't see either, so what's the point of all this mist? Kakashi asked to seemingly no one. I'm a master of silent killing. I don't need to see you to kill you. Zabuza pointed out, causing Kakashi to frown. This was going to be a long fight. Haku looked at Kiba apathetically through his mask. Please surrender. I do not wish to hurt you. Yeah, right. It's you who is going to be hurtin'. Kiba yelled as he tossed his Papa Soldier pill and he turned into a copy of Kiba. They then both got onto all fours and charged the fake hunter nin. Kiba tried to swipe Haku only for the ice user to block it and twist Kiba's arm. She then backhanded Kiba across the face. So be it, Haku stated calmly as she formed a set of seals. Ice release. 1,000 needles. Haku called as 1,000 needles formed into ice and flew right at Kiba, who proceeded to slam his hand on the ground as a wall of earth came to stop the needles. Earth release. Earth wall jutsu. Kiba pointed out. Haku narrowed her eyes as she charged the Inuzuka with speeds that far outclassed his own. She threw a punch at him only to look in surprise as he caught the punches flipped her over his shoulder. It looks like I'm going to have to get serious, Haku stated in a monotone voice. Naruto woke up with a yawn as he rubbed the gunk out of his eyes. Man, I'm tired. Naruto yawned to himself as he made his way downstairs, seeing Tsunami sit in a chair. Good morning, Naruto-san. Tsunami nodded in his direction. Morning. Where's my team at? Naruto asked. They already left. They thought it would be better to let you sleep, seeing as how you overworked yourself last night. Tsunami answered, causing Naruto to blink in surprise. What? They ditched me? He yelled as he ran upstairs, calling something about getting his clothes on before he left. Tsunami sighed as she turned back to the newspaper, only to hear a dark chuckle. Look what we got here, a strange samurai said, pointing to Tsunami. Hey, looks like this will be easier than I thought. The other one added as they grabbed Tsunami. This is what Inari came running into the room to see. Mom, he yelled out. Inari, run. She cried out. Well, Gato said we only need one hostage so we can just kill the kid. Samurai number 1 said to his partner. Don't you dare. If you kill him, I'll bite my tongue off and choke on my blood. Tsunami threatened. Whatever. I don't think you have the guts. Naruto peeped down the stairs as he saw the samurai about to slice the daughter of the bridge builder. Crap. There's no time to get there. Naruto thought in panic until he remembered one way he would be able to save her. He calmed down as he jumped over behind the samurais, knocking the sword out of the man's hand. What the hell? Where did you come from? The samurai said angrily, looking at the black-clad blonde. That's none of your business. Naruto muttered as he kneed the man in the gut and used the surprise to flip over him and deliver a roundhouse kick the other man's face. Oh shit. He's a ninja. The other man gasped in shock, praying for his life. At this, Naruto smirked as he created a couple shadow clones to deal with the men. Thank you so much, Naruto-ni-san. Mom could have died if you didn't kick those guys' butts. Inari ran up to Naruto. Naruto smirked at the affectionate name. No problem. Now protect your mom here. I'm going to the bridge because if someone sent people here, there must be trouble there as well. He reasoned as he waved goodbye and ran out the door, intent on saving his team from whatever had happened. Be prepared. This is my ultimate technique. Haku stated as her hand formed into a strange seal. Ice release. Demonic ice mirrors. Soon Kiba finds himself surrounded by mirrors of ice. He wondered what kind of an attack this was. His eyes nearly bulged from their sockets after seeing Haku literally step into one. Soon he could see an image of Haku on all of the mirrors. You cannot win, Haku stated matter-of-factly. Kakashi was having a tough time with this battle. It had been a long time since he'd fought someone this tough, probably back when he was in Anbu. Add to that the fact he was literally blind in this fact and you would see why Kakashi was not having the best day of his life. Your student is as good as dead. Zabuza said confidently. Don't count my students out yet. Kakashi narrowed his eyes angrily. You don't understand. Haku has a bloodline limit allowing her to control ice to an astounding degree. With this jutsu she could possibly defeat me. Zabuza trailed off as he disappeared into the mist again. Kakashi growled at his lack of sight once again. Wind release. Great breakthrough. All of a sudden, a monstrous torrent of wind came exploding forward, dissipating the mist all around. Since when could Naruto make such a big gust of wind? Kakashi thought to himself. Uzumaki Naruto reporting for service. Naruto called as he entered the battle. Naruto, go assist Kiba. He is in those mirrors. I'll back you up when I take care of eyebrows. Kakashi said, pointing to the dome of mirrors. Hi Kakashi-sensei. Naruto yelled as he ran to the mirrors. Zabuza growled at this and moved to intercept him, only for Kakashi to appear in front of him. Your fight is with me, Kakashi stated. Naruto rushed inside the dome of mirrors to see Kiba with dozens of Senbon sticking in various places on his body. Kiba, you all right? Naruto asked with concern in his voice. Yeah, this guy, he can be everywhere at once, he's too strong for either of us. Kiba explained. Well, let's work together. Naruto reasoned as he created a dozen shadow clones and had them attack each mirror individually, only for each to be dispelled in an instant. Any other bright ideas? Kiba asked mockingly. I don't see you having any, Naruto muttered under his breath while he starts a set of seals. Wind release. Great breakthrough. He called as an impressive column of wind hits one of the mirrors head first. That isn't strong enough, a hauntingly familiar voice reasoned with Naruto. He knew that voice. He just couldn't remember from where. A set of Senbon flew at Naruto as he made a set of seals and called out. Wind release. Wind vortex. A vortex of wind surrounded him and knocked the Senbon away. He took a second to regain his bearings. Haku noticed him distracted and went in for the kill. I'm sorry Naruto-san, Haku thought as she threw 3 well-aimed Senbon towards the thinking blonde. Naruto noticed these too late as he braced himself for the unavoidable. He felt nothing and he opened his eyes to see Kiba lying on the ground, apparently have taken the Senbon for him. Kiba, Naruto muttered, on the verge of tears. Why did you save me? He yelled, angry at Kiba for saving him, but most of all angry at himself for being so weak to need to be saved. An Inuzuka always protects their pack. I'm sorry for how we didn't used to get along, Naruto. I've come to think of you as a very good friend. Please Naruto, don't ever give up. I know you can beat her, Kiba finished as his head lowered. Is this the first time you've lost someone close to you? Your friend was very brave for doing this for you, Haku started but was cut off as a swirl of fiery red chakra erupted from the blonde. Shut up, Naruto shouted as the demonic chakra seemed to shape into a fox over his head. Who is this boy? Haku thought with panic. Naruto literally vanished from his spot and appeared in front of the mirror, delivering a demonic chakra-enhanced punch to it. The mirror shattered into thousands of pieces. Kakashi's eyes bulged as he became worried. Did the seal break? No, it just weakened. Either way, I need to finish this quick, Kakashi thought as he unrolled a scroll and swiped some of his blood on it. Earth release. Fang pursuit jutsu. Kakashi yelled as he waited for the results of his jutsu to take place. He wasn't disappointed as he heard his nin dogs erupt from the ground and latch onto Zabuza's arms and legs. What the? Zabuza yelled angrily. You thought I let you hit me for no reason. I used my blood to track you through the mist with my nin dogs. Now this is the end. Back with Naruto. As the mirror shattered, Haku was sent flying and Naruto appeared in front of her and delivered a punch to her face, shattering her mask. He took a look at her face and the demonic chakra seemed to vanish and Naruto took control again. Haku? Naruto asked, utterly confused. Hi, it is me, Naruto-san. Haku said. I am sorry Zabuza-sama, I cannot defeat this boy. He is too strong. I am of no use to you anymore. Why are you working for a guy like Zabuza? Naruto yelled as he pulled his hair out in frustration. Zabuza is my precious person. He cared about me when no one else did. Please Naruto, strike me down now. Zabuza has no need for a broken tool, Haku mumbled weakly. Why would you care what a guy like him thinks? Naruto yelled, shaking his head angrily. He was the only one who ever decided I was worthwhile. I once had a family. We lived in a snowy village in water country. I discovered my Kekai Genkai my mother had passed down to me and I showed her. She hit me and told me to show no one of it ever again. Where I come from, those with bloodline limits are feared and killed. My father then found my mother was a carrier of one. He killed her. He then tried to kill me, but I retaliated and killed him before he could kill me. I killed my own father. At this point Haku was trying vainly to hold back tears. I had to flee and I lived with no one for a long time. Then Zabuza-sama found me. He gave me a purpose. He had use for me. For the first time in a long time I felt needed, I felt wanted. Since then my sole purpose, my dream, has been to help Zabuza achieve his dream. Although now Zabuza has no use for a broken tool, Haku was now letting the tears fall freely. She's just like me, I know what it's like. To be hated. To be alone. It's a horrible feeling, isn't it? In my village I'm hated for reasons beyond my control. I never had a family. Please Haku, there's so much more to life than you have experienced so far. I don't want to kill you. Naruto pleaded. Haku nodded grimly. I'm begging you Naruto, kill me, end it please. Haku wept bitterly. I killed your friend. Where is the rage you felt before? Naruto nodded and pulled out a kunai. Kakashi then took a stance and went through a set of seals. Behold Zabuza. This is my one and only original jutsu. At this point Kakashi focused his chakra to his hand and a ring of chakra seemed to surround him as a ball of chakra surrounded by lightning appeared in his hand. It made a sound that sounded like birds chirping. I can see his chakra. How is that possible? Reikiri. Kakashi yelled out as he charged Zabuza. Haku looked over in shock. He swatted Naruto's hand away. I'm sorry Naruto, it looks like I'm still needed. She then disappeared in an ice mirror. Naruto looked over to see Kakashi charging Zabuza. His eyes widened in shock as he jumped over to Zabuza and jumped away with him, narrowly evading Kakashi's lightning blade. Haku's eye widened as she saw this and she stopped herself as she was just about punctured by the Konoha nin's lightning attack. Naruto, what do you think you're doing? Kakashi accused seriously. Kakashi-sensei, you can't kill him. He means everything to Haku and she was about to give her life for him. Naruto yelled defiantly. Kakashi's eyes softened at that. He was now glad that he was spared of soaking his blood in the innocent girl's blood. He knew what it was like to lose someone precious to you. It was a fate you wouldn't bestow on your worst enemy. All of a sudden they heard clapping. They turned to see Gato surrounded by an army of thugs. Some demon, you are Zabuza. Not even being able to handle a couple of pansy leaf ninja, oh well, at least you tired each other out. You see, I can't hire ninja from villages as they would betray me and you missing nin are so expensive. So I just hire you and wear you down against other ninja and I have a group of thugs take you down at the end. Gato sneered as Zabuza narrowed his eyes in rage. And after I'm done I can have some fun with you little whore who broke my arm. At this point two enormous KIs were felt as Naruto and Zabuza both growled. Kakashi-sensei, permission to kill Gato. Naruto turned to his sensei and Kakashi raised an eyebrow. Permission granted, he answered. As he said that, Naruto whipped out a kunai and seemed to vanish only to reappear directly in front of Gato as he plunged the kunai into the man's heart. He then jumped back to the group of ninja. Nifty trick you got there. How do you do that? Zabuza asked with no small deal of curiosity in his voice. It's something I learned when I was younger. I can basically just teleport wherever I want to as long as I've been there or can see it. Naruto replied nonchalantly. Sakura stared wide-eyed at this. Naruto could teleport. Why hadn't he told her? When she thought about it, she figured she hadn't ever been the nicest. Hell, she hadn't ever even been nice to the blonde-haired boy. She made a vow to treat the blonde nicer from now on. That is, if they made it out of here. Hey, he killed our meal ticket. Let's get him. One of the thugs yelled as the rest roared in approval, only to see a bolt hit the ground in front of their group. They turned to see a large group of villagers with weapons of all sorts led by Inari. No way you're gonna kill the saviors of this country. One man yelled as the rest agreed. Well, we'll just have to kill them all. The same bandit yelled. Naruto, seeing this, put his hands into a familiar cross-shaped seal. Shadow Clone Jutsu. He yelled as 30 other black-clad blondes stood beside him. Kakashi and Zabuza followed suit and created 10 of their own clones. This scared the crap out of the bandits. Run away. One yelled as the group retreated into the forest. Naruto moved to stop them but was halted when he felt a firm hand on his shoulder. He turned to see Kakashi, who just shook his head. Kakashi turned to Naruto. Where is Kiba? He noticed Naruto's eyes suddenly looked down and he started to shake. He's dead. He took a Senbon aim to kill me. Naruto replied, shaking. Kakashi's head lowered at this point. Another dead comrade. Actually, Haku piped in, causing the 3 depressed Konoha nin to look at her. I didn't kill him. I merely put him in a death-like state from which he should wake up from right about now. Haku said as they heard groaning and turned to see Kiba stretching out. You never did have the heart to kill, Zabuza mused. I'm sorry, Zabuza-sama, Haku muttered, thinking she had let down the demon of the mist. Don't worry about it. I am actually glad you are how you are. It would kill me for you to become a cold-blooded killer like me. Zabuza pointed out, causing Haku to become happier. Naruto turned to the duo. What are you two going to do now? I really don't know, Zabuza muttered, barely loud enough to hear. You could come back to Konoha with us, Naruto suggested, looking to Kakashi. I am sorry, Naruto, but it would be impossible to take in an A-rank nuke nin like Zabuza. Haku maybe, but even that would be pushing it. Kakashi frowned. Ah, Naruto sighed. I know, Tazuna said loudly, surprising everyone. You could stay in Wave. You would let us do that? Even after we tried to kill you? Zabuza questioned with shock. I don't see why not. You eventually turned around and any friend of Naruto's is a friend of ours. Tazuna proclaimed loudly. Zabuza turned to Haku. It would be nice to finally settle down and get away from the hunter nin, Haku agreed. Kakashi then spoke up. In our mission report we could report that you were eliminated, so you will be removed from the bingo books and the mist hunters will stop their pursuit, for at least a little while. You could arrange that? Zabuza asked, not quite believing it. Being an elite Jonin has its perks, not to mention Naruto is almost like a grandson to the Hokage. Kakashi mentioned with a smirk. Zabuza nodded. It would be nice to finally settle down. If just for a little while. Later at the house. After dinner the 6 ninja took some time to relax for the first time in days. Naruto wandered up to his room. Seeing this, Haku followed. Naruto turned to see his door creak open. Hello, Haku-san. Hello, Naruto-san. I just wanted to talk to you. Haku said. Sure. Naruto responded. I wanted to thank you for saving Zabuza-sama. And me as well. Haku admitted. It's no problem. It's just that you and I are a lot alike, you know. I didn't want to see someone like you die. Naruto yelled happily. Yeah, we are a lot alike. Haku agreed. Thanks for not, killing me or my teammates. Naruto muttered as he remembered what he had done earlier. He had taken the life of a human, no matter how corrupt. It felt sickening, he couldn't even look at himself. Haku frowned when he saw Naruto become deathly pale. Are you alright, Naruto? She absent-mindedly left off the san Suffix. Naruto shook his head. I can't believe I didn't even think about it. I killed that man. I took his life, Naruto muttered darkly. Haku frowned. She knew what it was like to commit a first kill, she had felt the same way. Naruto, I know what it's like to kill someone for a first time. I've been there. But think about it, if you wouldn't have killed Gato, he could have continued to destroy Wave and kill countless other people. You did a great favor to many people. You saved hundreds at the cost of one corrupt man. I know it's hard to kill though, I still hate the mere thought of it. Haku reasoned with the depressed blonde. I know, I understand all of that. But it still just doesn't feel right, you know. Haku nodded at this, feeling the same way. Naruto, have you seen Akama? Kiba yelled as he busted in the room and saw Naruto and Haku both sitting on the bed. His young teenage mind immediately inferred the obvious. Naruto's, I didn't know you and Haku were going out already. Kiba accused, smirking. This caused both Naruto and Haku to blush. That's not it. Haku yelled, surprising both boys. We are not going out, Kiba. Naruto twitched as he playfully punched Kiba in the shoulder. Whatever you say, Kiba smirked as he exited the room. Thanks for the talk. Naruto looked into Haku's eyes seriously. No problem. Haku nodded as she exited the room. 1 week later. The next week flew by quickly with the Konoha nin just basically lounging around Tazuna's house while Tazuna finished his bridge. It was unfortunately time for the Konoha nin to leave though. Goodbye Naruto ni-san, Inari said, holding back tears. You don't need to cry, Pipsqueak, crying doesn't help anything. Naruto was also on the verge of tears, finally meeting people he considered family and having to leave so soon. Goodbye Kakashi-san, Sakura-san, Kiba-san, Naruto-san. Tsunami called. Goodbye. They all called back. See ya Cyclops, Doggy Boy, Pinky, Shortstuff. The demon of the mist called goodbye in his unique way. Goodbye Naruto. Haku smiled warmly at the blonde-haired boy. Naruto gave her his foxy grin. See ya Haku. See ya Tazuna. See ya everyone. Naruto yelled as they left down the bridge. Now all we need is a name for the bridge, a random villager mused. I know. How about the Super Tazuna Bridge? Tazuna asked seriously, earning him glares. Inari then spoke up. How about the Great Naruto Bridge? Inari asked as everyone cheered. The Great Naruto Bridge it is. Tazuna yelled as the entire village erupted into cheers and roars of approval. It looked like our favorite blonde was on his way to becoming a legend. No one had a doubt in their mind that he would do great things. Back in Konoha, Kurenai was currently teaching her 3 genin, Sasuke, Hinata and Shino, how to climb trees without the use of hands when an Anbu arrived. What can I do for you, Anbu-san? Kurenai questioned. Uchiha Sasuke, if you will please follow me to the Hokage's office. The Anbu said, causing Kurenai to mentally let her guard down. Whatever. Sasuke replied as he followed the Anbu. They walked a few blocks until Sasuke noticed they had passed the Hokage's tower. Where are we going? The Hokage tower is that way, Sasuke pointed out. I know. We aren't going to see the Hokage. That was all the Anbu said in return. At this point Sasuke nodded and quietly moved his hand over his kunai pouch in case worse came to worse. The Anbu member finally arrived at a strange building and formed some hand seals to make a door appear. He motioned for Sasuke to follow and they walked deep into the dark room until they came to a large room that looked like it would be used for meetings. Uchiha Sasuke, I'm pleased to finally meet you, the man smirked. He seemed to only have one arm, if the bandages around a stump coming from his elbow were any indicator. He also had bandages wrapped around only one of his eyes. Sasuke narrowed his eyes at this. Who are you? He asked with venom laced in his voice. My, very quick to mistrust. I like that. And to answer your question, my name is Danzo.